social media is not real, and real communication means calling people and actually speaking to people in the flesh, and continue to be a part of life in that way.
Hi, welcome back to this African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to be taking our videos about social media today. So while we know that social media is very good, just like every other thing has its pros and cons in life, that's just how also social media works. It has its important part that it plays in our lives and the society, and it also has its negative part, and we're going to be checking out videos about it is affecting how people communicate and how people are like their social life, how it is going, how people actually interact with each other on a daily basis in the society. But before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate it so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Let's get right into this video.
Social media is making us less social. Social media is making people only know how to interact online through Facebook or through a text or through a phone call. And then the second they get in public, they no longer know how to be their authentic self. They feel authentic on the internet, but when they get around these people in person, they don't know how to communicate or interact. I feel like social media is a major disservice to our society for basic things like customer service. People don't know how to be in a job and have effective customer service anymore because they're losing basic social skills. And social media is causing people to not know how to be respectful, to not know how to just have common courtesy because they don't understand it anymore. They're so engaged only online or so engaged on their phone that we're lacking basic social skills or basic skills used for just a job. And I don't know, sometimes social media really bothers me sometimes. I've talked on here before and I know I'm on social media, but it's bothersome to me. I was at a store and a lady that I was just talking to last night on Facebook 100% avoided me on purpose. I get that we all do this sometimes because we're in a hurry, but this is a common theme. To me, it's listen, if you can be my friend on Facebook or through text, you should be my friend in person. And it's just, I don't like where the society is leading because what will this end at? Where will we be in 10 years when people only know how to be engaged on their phone?
Social media is designed to make us think, maybe I should be somewhere else, doing something else, with someone else. But if you always think that your happiness is somewhere else, it will never, ever be where you are. Social media bombards us with curated snapshots of others' lives, showcasing seemingly perfect moments that can just leave us yearning for more. We sometimes forget that happiness isn't a destination. It's a state of mind. It's about appreciating the here and the now. It's about finding joy in the simple pleasures. It's about embracing the beauty of the present. It's about realizing that the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the screen. In the grand tapestry of life, social media is just one thread. It can be a source of inspiration, connection, and expression, but it should never define our sense of self-worth or happiness. Ultimately, happiness is where you are, right here, right now.
Hi guys, so something that's becoming increasingly more relevant within the United States has been an utter drop in empathy and understanding towards others. And the catalyst of this is kind of unexpected. It's platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok that are really enforcing this. And it's these platforms specifically because these are algorithm-based platforms. So what they do is they take what you want to see and they cater the content that they show you to what you're comfortable with and to what you want to see. And this affects younger generations. So it's me, you, practically everyone watching this video. And the results of this on younger generations are massive. So as stated in multiple articles like Why America's Self-Segregating, Why the Other Side Isn't Dumb, and stated within the Laws of Human Nature, this media exposure is huge. When we're only exposed to perspectives that agree with ours and align with our values, ethics, and approved morals, we lose other perspectives. Now, this lack of perspective is huge. It results in something called false consensus bias, which runs rampant in media right now. And it's when very like-minded people come together in a group to get their opinions validated. But as a result of all of their ethics and morals being the same, their opinions are very similar. So it's like a massive echo chamber. And these groups stick together because it's what they're comfortable with. And when they're opposed with differing opinions, it's so foreign to them that they tend to dehumanize the person with a differing perspective. It's total alienization. And as ridiculous as that may sound, it's actually a completely normal and natural response for all of us who were exposed to this algorithm-based media. It's completely normal, but that doesn't make it any good. What you'll begin to notice is that this results in massive polarization between people, so it quite literally enforces separation. On a long-term scale, this results in utter lack of empathy and understanding. And there was a study done about a decade ago on college students that were just exposed to technology when it was first accessible. And you'll notice that even just with basic technology, empathy levels have dropped. So just imagine how much worse it is now 10 years later. This is just a quick visual for the study. You'll notice that when technology first became accessible, empathy went from all the way up there to dropping exponentially. And this is just within younger generations. So again, imagine how much worse it is now. Humans are very social creatures by nature, and this increased connectivity of American society is both a blessing and a curse. It allows us to be in connection with our loved ones, but at the price of what? As a younger person and the younger generations watching this, we are already so deep into our media consumption that there isn't much we can do to draw back right now. But the most we can do right now is be very, very mindful of how it affects us and the way we think. This lack of empathy is becoming very real with younger generations, and though technology is a blessing, it should be personally regulated. You see, our compassion, our kindness, our understanding are what makes us human, and we cannot allow the media to steal our humanity.
I took an entire year off of social media, no social events, and only talked to about probably 10 people in my life, and the results were incredible. You know those videos where you see people say lock in on yourself for 6 months, disappear, go ghost. You see the transformations and you say to yourself, man, I'm gonna do that one day. And then you lie to yourself saying that you are doing it, but you still find yourself going out. Every time your cousins hit you or every time the group chat is live, you still in it. And you're not really taking that time to really consecrate and concentrate on God and yourself. Those times are crucial and they're sacred. And I realized for myself that if I gave myself all of this energy that I was giving to so many other things, so many other people, I'll be able to find time to develop myself as a man, learn who I am, pick up things that I really enjoy like jujitsu and cinematic filmmaking and making music and really learning things about God, myself, and the world that I never really knew because of all these distractions. We really get distracted a lot by so many different things, and I think one of the things that is so important now is taking times for yourself.
I think one of my biggest pet peeves with social media is how it's changed the way we communicate with one another. More specifically, the fact that like a lot of people, I noticed this within like the last 4 or 5 years, there are people who used to be in my life that would like call me, from time to time, or they would even send me a text message and like they would check in on me like with my like actual phone number. And I feel like with social media, even with family, I feel like a lot of people think social media is a means of keeping up with the people that are supposed to be a part of your life. And some people use social media completely as a way of communication and connectivity outside of real life interpersonal connection. And what I mean by that is like there's so many people who have gotten used to just like looking at your Instagram story or looking at a post that you put on Facebook and thinking that they know your life and they know you and they're a part of your life. When in actuality, I feel like social media gives people a false sense of connectivity, especially if you're someone that like, you choose you specifically curate your social media and you choose to put certain things. And in turn, I just feel like in my personal life, I just feel like social media started affecting too many relationships. And it was putting this like distortive lens on my relationships and my friendships with people. And stepping back from that, it's just funny because like my phone be so dry. Like these people who looked at my story all day long, they're not texting me. They're not like checking in on me and stuff like that. Like it just made me realize that I really want to get back to like the traditional way of life, like calling people on the phone, actually meeting up and spending time with people, having real relationships with people, because I just feel like a lot of friendships and relationships, it don't be genuine no more. Like people want to be close to you because of what they think your life is perceivably like, not knowing anything. And so recently, I've just been in this place of peace. I've kind of just pulled back my energy. I've been protecting my energy. I've been in the cut, as some people would say, just like at peace, like loving me, loving my life, and focusing on real community, like in my everyday life, like genuinely showing up for the people who show up for me in real life every day, not online, not liking pictures, not any of that. Because I really feel like all of that shit is fake. And yeah, I'm just starting to see that. So that's what I've kind of come to the realization of in this season of isolation, is that like social media is not real, and real communication means calling people and actually speaking to people in the flesh, and continue to be a part of life in that way.
Maybe mostly for the younger generation, where mostly people be out and how they make friends and kind of like get to know people, make connections in life when it comes to be it trying to like know somebody, network for like job or opportunities, or just learning something from someone or just a stranger. It could just like be in a time where mostly when people go out, like most times they are not fixated on their phones, or like just so into it to the extent that they don't really have time to actually pay attention to their surrounding, to kind of make any communication or talk to people like in real life, which is something some people can actually interact and have like so much conversation. Like they'll chat with you online, use social media and chat you up, and then when you meet in real life, like really they're not used to it. It's like uncomfortable for them. And I also feel like this phone addiction also, and I think social media also has a part in the phone addiction, because you're looking for entertainment on your phone and you don't really have time to actually be entertained in the real life, because like there's an addiction. And the reason why I'm saying this is actually like also for me, I don't feel like social media is necessarily bad, but I also feel like there needs to be, just like with every other thing, too much of everything is bad. Like you just need to have a level of control and give it a balance in life, because having a balance with the things, not letting something consume you totally, really will help.
This is why I think we all feel so stuck. On a daily, we consume so much media, whether it's social media, whether it's movies, TV, the news, anything. And specifically social media, we all watch as other people create and live life. And it's so weird. We sit for hours and hours watching Black Girl Luxury. We sit for hours and hours watching soft life material. We sit for hours watching somebody point to their favorite pop culture moments when we can just live it. If we just go outside and touch some grass and actually do the things that we want to do, we don't have to watch other people do it. And that reminds me of like when little kids nowadays watch people play with toys on YouTube. Just play with the toys. It's so mind-boggling that we all know what we want to do in our life, and we all know what we want to create, but we spend hours and hours watching other people make it. You want to be a film director. You spend hours and hours just watching film, but not out there actually making films. And it's so insane when you think about it, because we're wasting our lives on this app watching people live the lives we want to live. But if we just get off the phones and live the lives we want to live, we are just helping people get rich by watching them do the shit we want to do in our lives. And no shade to content creators, no shame to other creators, because you're basically just living life.
People are following other people's mindsets, thinking it's real shit when it's not. People taking on other people's morals and their mindsets instead of trying to have a mind of their own. Just because somebody says this is how you should live or this is how your relationship should go doesn't mean it's right. Like, you allowed to have a mind of your own. I feel like too many people take what someone says and they just run with it without even thinking for themselves. And I feel like you shouldn't get on here and just run with shit without thinking first, because people get on this social media shit and be hurt. And also, I feel like a lot of people get on here and they try to gaslight other people into agreeing and validating what they're doing and how they feel.
Human brain was not designed for social media at all. You're not supposed to wake up in the morning, pick up your phone, and see a video of a guy getting his head chopped off, a post about World War III being around the corner, and then a picture of your ex in their new relationship. 10 minutes into your day and you're convinced the world is ending, your anxiety's through the roof, you feel lonely, and you haven't even gone outside yet, and then you do go outside and the sun is shining, people are smiling and laughing, the birds are chirping, absolutely nothing is wrong. So you started your day by scrolling Instagram for 5 minutes before you got out of bed, and now you feel horrible because the human mind is not meant to comprehend all these things at once, especially when there are things like World War III's happening, this guy died, this bombing just happened. We're not supposed to get all this information in such a short amount of time. This is why we need to bring back third places in our society. In our parents' age, after work, people would go places and socialize, have a drink, grab dinner with friends, go golfing, go to the pool club, literally do anything with other human beings face to face. Now people come home from work, plant their butt on the couch, get in bed, and scroll TikTok, scroll Instagram for hours on end, and fry their brains, give themselves self-induced anxiety and depression, and it's no wonder why everyone's miserable nowadays. Get an in-person group of friends, go hang out in real life, put social media down. I'm addicted too. We're all addicted to this shit, and it's horrible for you. Horrible.
Social media has ruined relationships, and I say that because it gives the illusion of options. People think they have all the options in the world because all they got to do is go on the internet and click on it, go on and DM. All starts with a click, and it's so dangerous. That's why nobody's so content with their relationships, because they're constantly comparing their relationships with people online. Like, oh, they be doing this, da 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 da. Bro, I swear to God, the internet isn't real. People only show you what they want to show you. They're not showing you actually who they are. It could be the most terrible people on planet Earth in real life, and they might seem like an angel on the internet. Like, social media is not fucking.
Social media is ruining my life. Today I challenged myself to have less than an hour on screen time. I failed within the first half of the day. I didn't realise quite how long I spent on TikTok and Instagram just mindlessly scrolling until I actually looked at my screen time. After what I thought had been 5 to 10 minutes, had actually been 45. I always complain that my days go too fast, or that I need more hours in the day, but what I really need is to break this habit of scrolling and to reclaim the hours of my life that I spend on social media. In that 45 minutes alone, I could have cooked, hoovered, showered, or even read, all of which are tasks I regularly tell myself I don't have time for. And it's not like it's just 45 minutes a day. My screen time over the last week has averaged 8 hours. 8 hours a day. 8 hours of my life sat staring at the screen of my phone, comparing my neglected life to the seemingly perfect life that others share on social media. It makes me physically sick knowing that in the last week alone, I've wasted over 56 hours of my life to a social media addiction. But I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to reclaim my life back. I can't stop scrolling.
You want to know something that's so mind-blowing to me? You probably don't, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I have no one else to talk to. But the fact that a phone can ruin your real life, you know? Because it's so easy for us to say, like, oh, you know, this social media landscape is reality too. You know, it's real. If it's real to me, it's real, right? No, wrong. You know, this isn't real life. This isn't real. You know, the likes on Instagram, the text someone, pull up, you know, like the whole 9 yards, you know, like the whole unspoken nuance of social media. It's not real. You know, this illusion of options, and, you know, if they won't, someone else will. This, like, horrible toxic mindset of just, like, replacing people, you know? Working on a replacement theory in my mind currently. But I think it's insane how people will just really let, you know, words on a phone screen or on a YouTube video really determine what's real and what's not in their own real life. Not really understanding that your real life actually takes a toll on you. You know, it's actually real. The people you see every day and you see every week, like, those are the real people, you know? Like, I don't think people really understand how significantly more complex it would be to replace the people that are in your real life with someone who's in this social media landscape. And that I'm not even speaking about relationships, friendships. You know, there's certain places we serve in people's lives just because they have unlocked a certain aspect of ourselves that they have now access to. And I think, like, that's not something to just like skip over, you know, like that's real. You know, someone tells you, hey, when you do this, it makes me feel a certain way. You know, that's more important than money. That's more important than any likes or fame or anything. You know, like someone opening up to you and telling you their feelings about something, like you're literally getting into that person's self-concept. That is insane. You know, like, you can text someone all day and night, like, oh, I feel this way, blah, 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 but you really never really know if that's real. If someone's telling you that to your face, you can read the body language. You can tell it's authentic. You can tell it's genuine. And those are the experiences that you take forever, you know, like that you don't ever forget that moving into your life, you know, moving forward. And I think that's something that people should value, you know, like it's not healthy to escape all the time, you know, especially from the people that are closest to you. It's not healthy to always cower down and not speak up for yourself. It's not healthy to disregard people's emotions because you're thinking of yourself now. You know, it's not healthy. It's not good, you know, especially if these are people that are like good to you and always think about you and always have you in their best interest. Like if they've never given you a reason to absolutely destroy them, why would you?
Social media has ruined dating for this entire generation because nobody meets organically in person anymore. Think back to high school when you would meet somebody in class, talk to them for weeks and months on end every single day. You would see them every single day. And then you would ask them on a date how magical it was to go out on a date with that person after months of knowing them. Nowadays, when you meet somebody, you don't have weeks and months to get to know them because the pressure's on right away to get them on a date. Girls are getting dozens of DMs, inbound matches on dating apps, texts, Snapchats, TikTok messages nonstop. Guys are sending out likes on dating apps, DMing girls nonstop. Everybody has this illusion of the grass is always greener. And if you don't go on a date with somebody in the first few days of meeting them, they get bored, they move on, you're back to square one, which causes the issue of going on a date with somebody that you have no clue if you're compatible with them or not because you haven't talked for long enough. You don't know a thing about them. You're just attracted to their looks. And you're going on a date like it's a job interview, asking them all these questions back and forth. You're probably going to end up ghosting them or they'll ghost you. And you're back on another first date a week later with somebody else you don't really know. And the carousel goes round and round and round and round.
Letting it consume you is what actually gets to the point where you see some people being affected like by this whole thing, where they be like their mental health is actually, you know, totally messed up due to social media. And not just social media, I feel like people need to like have like a certain level of control when it comes to like watching some things. But like it could be movies, like because I've literally seen people. And this one, I think, like, some people watch some movies and actually think that those things that are happening in that movie, they don't know about how to, like, limit, like, okay, when they're watching, like, fantasy, something that is, like, in a movie, like it's literally fantasy and just a made-up story. They literally want it to be their real life and imagine that it's a real life. Like there's no way. So they don't even know how to separate it. Like I have heard of those people who, and I've seen those people who do not know how to separate it and know that sometimes like some things that you even see on movies are literally not the same to what might happen in real life. So that also applies like with, you know, like scrolling on social media, some of the things some people see where people don't have their own personality. I know like we pick up on words where that is being said that just goes viral. We pick up on all those type of things, like just some funny phrases or stuff like that, you know. But it's like a whole, some people will literally imitate a mirror of someone's personality or a certain personality that is actually being like copied by each other, like by a group of people on social media. They will literally take it on as a personality to carry. Like I said, it's not bad, just like don't let it consume you and have like a limit to it, have a certain control.
These people on this app that's giving y'all relationship advice or passing on their trauma and their bad spirits to y'all, you need to watch who you getting advice from. I'll use myself for an example. The content that I used to post, I was so cold and all I did was pass that on to other people. All I did was pass it on to other people and have y'all adapt to the way of this world. You get what I'm saying? But what you do is you heal within, find happiness within, get right with God, and walk that narrow path and align yourself with what's for you. You get what I'm saying? Because it's easy to get your heart broken and then turn into this manipulative person. You see it all the time with men and women passing on advice to y'all. Or if they call you, don't answer. One day be hot, one day be cold. That's manipulation. That is witchcraft. These are demons. I'm telling y'all. These people got whole demons hosting them, and they don't even realize it. And all they doing is passing it on to y'all. When you find that self-love, when you look within, you learn how to be your authentic self. It is a facade that they feeding y'all. And the worst part of it is they believe it's real. They believe it's really them. It's a facade. That's not you. If you can't be your full authentic self and align yourself with God and the universe, bro, you faking it. You faking it. And they selling y'all a dream. They selling y'all a dream. Their soul is gone, and now they got you entertaining them, and now you feel soulless. Now you feel unfulfilled. Woman after woman, man after man, and wonder why you still feel empty, because you putting your energy into soulless people that's passing on their demons and their traumas to y'all.
Ladies, when are you guys gonna start having real friendship experiences that are not influenced by Instagram aesthetics? Some of you guys make sure that you make friends that look a specific type of way in order for you to say that you have baddie friends. And the way your friendship groups are so not serious, you can tell by the fact that the leader is the one that can put makeup on, can install her wigs, and gets the most attention on Instagram. You even go as far as sucking up to girls that look prettier than you because you can't afford to lose them. Why? Because they uplift your social status. You guys don't even care that these girls don't treat you well. All you care about is that they make you look good in public. Is that not low self-esteem? Think about it. And some of you leaders, your friends are so scared to tell you that they are tired. They are tired of having to force to be baddies, to wear wigs, to wear clothes where their bodies are falling off just because you guys have to look good in pictures. Like when you post on Instagram, it must look like you're all baddies, you're all tens. They are so tired. You guys can't even have simple picnics with a blanket under the tree and just chats and sweets. Your picnics have to have those cheese boards with grapes and what. I don't even know what you guys call those things, but it has to look like that. Otherwise, it's not a picnic. When you guys go out to groove, it has to be certain alcohol brands that you guys buy. You can't just go there to dance. Literally doesn't matter what you drink. Even if you drink nothing, it's fine as long as you're dancing, you're laughing, you're enjoying. You can't. You have to be able to post later on and have those videos where the filter is flying up and down and the hubbly smoke is up and down. It has to be that way, otherwise you didn't have fun. These friendship activity things that you guys see on Instagram are just there to suggest that, you know what guys, you can do something different, but it's not a must. It's not a force. It doesn't mean that if you're not doing those specific things, you guys are not having fun. Allow your friends to be who they are. If they don't like wearing wigs, leave them. If they don't want to wear dresses from Shein, leave them. Allow them to wear whatever they want to wear. Allow them to be whoever they want to be. Variety is so important because you guys get to learn from each other. And also friendships are more than that. It's about doing life together, advising each other, holding each other accountable, correcting, having fun. For once, forget about your phones, forget about Instagram. Just be with each other, just enjoy each other's company. Don't worry about what you're gonna post later. Are people gonna think you guys are the hottest squad? No, guys, there's honestly so much more to life and friendship. Please.
Social media builds that fake mental construct of value and importance that I think this generation would have great benefit from detaching from, because it's just interesting how people will try to like come back into your life or apologize or whatever after the damage is already done, and they can finally understand the gravity of their actions. And by that time, it's already too late. And I think it's so upsetting because it's happening to me, right? Where like I've opened up about something and I told someone like, I don't really like the way you do this. This makes me feel a certain way, But it's like the damage is already done. So it's like you apologize, you say you'll change, whatever. It doesn't really matter because the damage is already done. I already have the tormenting thoughts, the tormenting memories, the traumatic experience of it. And no matter how much I try to heal or try to forget or try to understand your perspective a little bit more or give you patience and time, and the damage is already done. It hurt me before I could even perceive it. Like it's one of those things. It was like a careless situation. And it's like, you can't just come back from something like that in a week, a year, because it changes your whole concept about whatever it is you're experiencing. You know, like for my example is friendship, love, you know, it completely changed my entire perspective of it. And I'm starting to understand like why they say like you really have to choose your partner really, really strategically, really you have to be really aware of who it is you're dealing with, like fully aware, you know, because it's like if you don't, like, you're gonna make a careless mistake, you know, this person's gonna hurt you. And if you know yourself and you know how sensitive you are, or you know how sensitive you're not, you know, you can manage it. And it's like, it's honestly like, I always do this and I probably shouldn't, but it's really like business. It's like a stock. It's like an asset. You know, you obviously have to always tend to this asset. You have to tend to, you know, the markets. You have to tend to your business. You have to tend to your industry. You have to tend to whatever it is you're working on. And if you're not showing up, and if you're not aware, you know, if you're not studying the game, you're gonna lose, or you're gonna fail, or, you know, you're gonna miss out on things, or you're gonna get hurt, or any like bad things happen when you're not on top of everything, you know. And it's like, it's sad, but that applies to like human connection and like human relationships, you know. And it's like, it hurts, bro. It hurts. It's so freaking painful, because the one day you think, oh, I'm over it, I'm on top of the world, and it comes back at 3 a.m. or it comes back at 2 p.m. when you're, you know, eating lunch or whatever, you're at your job, or, you know, you're working on this thing that you know you've been working on for the past 5 years. You know, it's like, trauma knows no time. And that, I think that's, I'm more like understanding it while I'm talking about it, but trauma knows no time. And, you know, when you give people a traumatic experience, or when you put people through a traumatic experience, it's like, you can't tell when, how, or even where that memory is gonna torture them again or come back up. And it's like, it's scary and it's sad, but it's like, that's the life we live. You know, we're walking around as traumatized individuals, suffering from, you know, the widest range of things. And, you know, on top of that, like, there's people who aren't aware of this, and that are just out here just breaking hearts, you know, destroying friendships, destroying lives. And it's so scary to think about, because we all suffer from things we don't talk about, you know, or do talk about, if you allow someone to enter into that atmosphere or that space in your being. It's like, there's so much unsaid, but that's how the trauma works, you know. Like, when you go through an experience, like, it changes you, and you may not be aware of it in that time, but the future you is fully aware, you know. And it's scary, and it's very sad, and it hurts to think about, and it hurts to feel what it is. But we tell people in this day and age, get over it, you know. Heal as fast as you can. Do this to heal now. Do this to change your financial situation now, you know. But it's like, in all of that, when do you make space to actually exist in that state and genuinely, authentically understand how you feel about certain circumstances? Because I'm the type of person, I want a deep connection. If it's not deep, I don't want it, you know. If it's not a deep connection, I'm not following up. If it wasn't moving, if I don't feel that you understand my mind state, you know, and you're as open as I am in that current moment, I'm probably not going to meet back up with it. You know, I'm not going to reach out or bring the conversation we had back up again. Like, it's just not going to happen, because I can't tell you about things I'm struggling with, because you're not going to understand that, you know, we're driving the car, you know, going to get lunch or whatever, and a traumatic experience is still unraveling itself, you know, because there's a lot of people that get annoyed with that stuff, you know, because they're thinking about their own life, they're doing their own thing, they don't have time to sit there and like listen to you spill for the 6th time in that week. And that's the type of friendships or relationships we should be looking for. The people that give us that space.
Sometimes take some time to, just enjoy like your social life sometimes. And I know it's difficult to do, especially in this day and age where it's like that's just mostly all we have. Literally, it's difficult. I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm so righteous, like, oh, it doesn't affect me. It does affect me. Like sometimes if you take my phone away from me, I'm just gonna be staring. Like I wouldn't even know what to do. Like you push me outside and say just go outside, sit down in public. I don't know what to do with myself without my phone. I'm literally just gonna go sit down there and be like, it's just weird, like, like, so it's not easy. Like as much as there's like an awareness brought to this, like phone addiction, social media addiction, sometimes, like, on a realistic note, if you take these phones away from people and you tell them to just sit down right now, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna sit down there and be like, because we're not used to it. Like it's something that we are not used to. We don't even know what to do with. We're just It's just gonna be boring. Like you'll get bored in just a few seconds. When in reality, let's say you weren't used to your phones, all of you collectively, you all will start interacting. You guys will find things like have fun with. You guys will start finding things to really entertain you. And well, you can't do that. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you. Please don't forget to click the like button. Like I said, it helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit on your notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.